For a long time, Nintendo fans have been clamoring to have more Super Nintendo games on the Virtual Console, and recently Nintendo has announced that they will bring Super Nintendo games to the new 3DS Virtual Console. These are the top 10 games that we would like to see put onto that Virtual Console in future installments. I'm your host, 24 Kevin from 24 Kevin Tendo. Let's get started. First is Barts Nightmare. Now, Barts Nightmare is a game that is set in Bart's dream, where he goes through his dreams trying to collect papers for his homework in order to get a better grade on his test. Seems simple enough, right? Well, not when you consider all the mini-games thrown in. From Itchy and Scratchy to Bartzilla, there's a plethora of things to do in this dream world. It has yet to be released on Virtual Console to date, and it would be a great thing to have on this new console that people would enjoy playing. Next on the list is any Disney game from the SNES, from Lion King all the way to Aladdin to any of the Mickey games. There are phenomenal games on there from Disney's past, and with all those games sitting in the reservoir, it would be absolutely worth it to bring it out and give them a try. And with Disney owning now and all of the properties of the Star Wars franchise, it would be an absolute great idea to bring in all the other Star Wars games from the SNES now. With the release of The Force Awakens, I guarantee the nostalgia trip for Star Wars fans will have them clamoring to get these games and a new Nintendo 3DS so that they're able to play these on those alone. Number 7 is a classic, which Nintendo actually made to compete with Sonic's graphics, proving that, yeah, we could do fast games too. It was Uniracers, a game where you race on unicycles where you could perform tricks, either have a race, a drag race, try and go the fastest. There were half-pipe challenges where whoever could score the most points wins. There are many different racetracks, a classic game, and I hope it wouldn't be that hard to import on there, considering the controls weren't all that complicated, but it was still a phenomenal game and a great alternative to Sonic on the SNES to show, hey, we can make the graphics go just as fast too. Number 6 is Yoshis Island. Yoshis Island has been out for a long time, but I don't believe they've ever released this one on the 3DS. So it's a great opportunity to bring back that with Woolly World on the Wii U. Releasing this on the new 3DS would have people have the quintessential original Yoshi's Island experience that people all want to play, and take that trip down memory lane where they get to remember crying Mario. Damn, I didn't need to remember that for long. Number 5 should be a pretty obvious one. It is Starfox. I know they released Starfox 3D a long time ago, and it's basically a remake of the original one. However, they could just bring out the original SNES one on this Virtual Console. With the new Starfox coming out, some people might want to play the original and see how they've adapted it from the new one, even with the flight car, I was going to say. Even with the ability to import the original Starfox plane from the original game, you still are going to want to have that original experience and compare it to the new one, so that's why they should release it. It's a no-brainer. Really, Nintendo, you gotta start listening to me. You'll make so much more money this way. Coming up to the top 5 now, we have Chrono Trigger. This is a game that swept the nation as one of the best RPGs on the SNES and still holds as a cult classic to this day, still holding a very strong fan base, and releasing it on the 3DS Virtual Console just seems like the perfect thing to do, getting all the JRPG fans who bought this just to get Xenoblade Chronicles, I guarantee would buy this just to play this game. That's how strong the fan base is, and I really think it would be a great addition to all the games on there already. Speaking of RPGs, we are gonna keep on that theme. Coming in at number 4 is Final Fantasy III, one of the greatest RPGs I ever played as a child. It's so long, so in-depth, so many different branching stories, so many different characters you can pick. How can you not put this game on the Virtual Console with everyone clamoring for it? And with Cloud being put into Smash Brothers, it's looking more and more likely that we're gonna get more Final Fantasy games on the Nintendo systems. If not the new 3DS, then hopefully on the NX with Final Fantasy VII, as people have been predicting and hoping for ever since Cloud was announced for Smash. Who knows? I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens. Coming in at number 3 is an interesting choice. It's all the fighting games for SNES. Yes, I'm cheating a little bit, but hear me out. If they put games like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and Killer Instinct onto the new 3DS Virtual Console and made local play where you could face other people or even online pay, a man can dream. I know they didn't do that with Pokemon, but a man can dream that they do local play so that two people can play against each other in arcade mode in these games. It would be a great addition. Hell, they could even have a competitive fighting scene for these games and even build up more of a fan base in the competitive fighting scene. So it does seem highly unlikely these games probably would be further down the list, but honestly, that would be the perfect addition to these games and the perfect addition to the new 3DS, honestly really making people want to buy this game. Number 2 is one of my favorite Super Nintendo games of all time. It is Secret of Mana. It's an absolute classic game, taking RPG elements of leveling your character up, leveling up different magical abilities, leveling up different weapons so that they get stronger, and leveling up different attacks, and putting them into a different setting where you actually attack people with the weapons, whether it's in a 3D platform, taking on different bosses with different weaknesses to different magic and different weapons. This was a great take on the RPG element, and actually a spin-off of the Final Fantasy series. It really is a great game and one of my favorites of all time. If they ever put this on the new 3DS, I'd go absolutely insane. I mean, can you even imagine if they had local play where you could team up with your friends and you could each play as one of the characters in the party? It would be perfect, and one of the best games they've ever released on the new 3DS. And the final one is actually probably my favorite game of all time. It is Turtles in Time. Yes, for the Super Nintendo, the classic beat 'em up where you can play as any of the Ninja Turtles. You go back in time, you face all the classic Ninja Turtle villains, you even face Shredder, you toss bad guys into him at one point, you can throw people off the stage. It was one of the best games I ever played. I remember absolutely spending my childhood on this game, and it was one of the most fun I had ever had. Ever release any of these games, Nintendo, on the Virtual Console, you will complete my childhood and make my heart complete. That's our list, guys. What games would you like to see on the Super Nintendo Virtual Console? Did we miss any? Leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe for your chance to win an indie game. Congratulations to last week's winner. I really need a sound effect for that. I'm So Wavy Productions. Congratulations on your victory. Pick any one of the games up in this section here and let me know in a private message which one you'd like. Guys, a new round of the contest will begin. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment, and you'll enter for your chance to win, and you'll have your pick of the indie games that are left there. Anyways, guys, for everyone here at 24KevinTendo, I'm your host, 24Kevin. Gotta go, though. I really gotta start making some more videos. I'm really slacking on putting these out on time. See you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye!